Let's imagine what it would look like if your tax dollars actually went to serving you. Okay, so for context, the US federal budget is about 6.5 trillion annually, and the military budget is about 850 to 900 billion of that. So let's say we repurpose 1.5 to 2 trillion. Let's say 25% goes to universal healthcare. So this would be fully universal, single payer healthcare, mental health and addiction resources fully integrated, dental, vision, reproductive care included, no premiums, no surprise bills. And this works because the US already spends far more per capita than any other country on healthcare. This would actually save money long term by cutting insurance overheads and emergency only care. So imagine preventative care becomes normal, nobody's ever going to go bankrupt from illness, and mental health will be treated as seriously as physical health. Next, 15% of the budget is going to go to free education, so we're going pre-K all the way through college and trades. This will include free universal childcare, free public college, trades, and certifications. It will include student stipends so the poor can attend, and it's going to double teachers' pay, which to me is the most important occupation that you could possibly have. Education is the highest return investment that a society can make. It reduces crime, poverty, political radicalization, so there'll be more artists, entrepreneurs, engineers, critical thinkers, creative, science. It's all going to explode. It's going to keep power and wealth in the hands of the people instead of just funneling the wealth up like good little workers. Next is going to be paid parenting and birth compensation. We're going to do 8% to that. So this is going to include paying mothers and parents for child rearing, child care, giving birth, 1 to 2 years paid maternal leave, or paternal. We're going to do monthly child stipends. It's also going to include home visiting nurses and postpartum mental health care. Raising humans is literally civilization maintenance. It's currently treated like dog water, like less than nothing, like completely unpaid invisible labor. Everybody wants to complain about the declining birth rates, but do literally nothing to help young mothers or parents. Taking care of mothers is for the public good. It should not be a private burden. So this would dramatically lower postpartum depression rates, dramatically lower childhood poverty, and so fewer broken children will be fewer broken adults in the future. The next part of the budget is going to be 12% for housing as a human right. So this is going to include rent control stabilization, first-time homebuyer programs, and public housing projects that are going to end homelessness entirely. It'd actually be cheaper to just house people than to deal with the consequences of homelessness, because housing insecurity is what drives most social dysfunction. So the cities are going to be safer because nobody's sleeping on the sidewalk. People will actually be able to plan their lives instead of just trying to survive. 7% can go to mental health, arts, and culture. So we're talking universal therapy access, community arts funding in public studios, theaters, creative grants, and national mental wellness programs. Art is how people process truth, how people process emotions, how people process their life on a whole. And a society without inner health and access to expression of the inner world is going to rot no matter how rich it is. I mean, really, imagine a culture that funds thought instead of suppressing it. There's going to be more meaning, less violence, and more voices. People are going to feel more heard and seen. They're going to be able to express that. So next, 15% is going to go to green infrastructure and climate repair. We can build a high-speed rail nationwide, finally. We're talking a full green urban redesign with a 100% renewable energy grid. And we can focus on carbon capture and reforestation. Climate collapse is the only war that matters long-term. There's not going to be a planet to fight over if you don't keep it and preserve it. And green infrastructure will create millions of jobs. We need cleaner air, we need cheaper energy, and in America, we need to redesign cities that are for people and not for cars. Please. 10% is going to go to universal basic services. This is going to include free public transportation, internet as a public utility, clean water guarantees, and a public food system. Because when survival basic needs are actually met, people can innovate, people can come up with new ideas, people are functioning beyond a survival state. Imagine how much less stress you would have if you didn't have to worry about surviving every single day. The last 8% is going to go to science, research, and exploration. So this is going to fund medical research, longevity science, AI ethics and development, and space and ocean exploration. So with this, we're actually going to get cures instead of just treatments. Tech is going to be shaped ethically, because humans should be playing the long game. Progress should be aimed at improving the quality of life, because any knowledge gained compounds over generations. Because military spending does not compound. It creates enemies, it destroys value, and it justifies secrecy and authoritarian drift. Human investment makes us more stable. It makes us harder to manipulate through fear and control. It actually reduces future costs. This is true political maturity. We've got to break out of the scarcity mindset, obsession with dominance, fear control cycle. And for all the naysayers, this imaginary society isn't just free stuff. Again, this is your money working for you. It's literally just a society where we say we love and trust ourselves enough to invest in us.